Do you know why people are not booking discovery calls with you? It's because you didn't tell them to, you didn't tell them to again, and you didn't tell them what they're going to get out of that call. Now, I know you think you did that. I know you think you did tell them to, and you think you told them again, and you think you told them the benefits that they're going to get on a call with you, but you didn't. If they're not booking, you didn't do those things, and I'm going to teach you how. This is why people are not booking discovery calls with you. And it has nothing to do with the amount of followers you have or the number of people on your email list or the fact that you don't have an email list or the wrong people in your area. None of that is the reason that people aren't booking calls with you, okay? I have been coaching health and wellness professionals for over 6 years full time now, and I see this problem come up a lot. You're putting yourself out there with emails maybe, or conversations at networking events, or conversations with friends of friends, family members, doing presentations, doing the things. What I'm trying to say is you're doing the things, but you're not getting the amount of consult calls or discovery calls. I'm going to use those interchangeably. You're not getting people booking calls with you. Okay. Nothing is happening. And most people think when this is happening, they think, I need to get in front of more people. I need more people. I need more people. I need to start running ads. I need to do something different. And that's not the case. Okay. Here's what I've discovered. It is not a traffic problem. It is a selling problem. These are two different problems. We have to be solving the right problem. But most practitioners are terrible at actually selling the call and telling people why they need to get on the call. And that's the problem, okay? They'll have this great conversation with somebody, or they'll do a great presentation, or they'll send a great email that gets people really interested. But then kind of as an afterthought, they'll say, oh yeah, and if you want to do this for yourself, like book a call with me. It's very hesitant. It's not compelling at all. And so people don't do it. But the business owner, the practitioner, probably you, if you're watching this video, wonders, why is nobody booking? Why does nobody want to talk to me about this? So I just worked with a client on this in depth. Actually, this has come up a lot recently with my clients that I'm working with. So I knew, okay, we have to go deep on this, and I have to do an entire podcast episode, entire video here on what this is, like what's actually going on, because it's not what you think. Your job, by the way, is not to explain to somebody how you are going to change their life when you work with them. It's to get them to take the next step. So if that means that they need to book a discovery call with you in a conversation, in a presentation, in an email, in a workshop, your job is actually to get them to the call and to sell that, not necessarily to sell the entire offer that you are going to actually sell them. I know this is a little confusing because you're like, I'm not charging for these calls. You're probably not. That's okay. You still have to sell free stuff. Okay. I'm going to teach you exactly how to do this in the next few minutes, and we're going to fix this problem. So if people are not booking calls with you right now, we are going to fix it. Let's dive in. So to use the example that I gave earlier about a practitioner that just throws a PS link at the bottom of their email. They're diligently writing the emails to their email list, and they're nurturing them, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm blowing their mind. People say that they love my emails. They open the emails. They even click sometimes on the book a call page, but they never actually book a call. And I haven't actually gotten any consults from my emails. I hear this from my clients. And so what is happening here is it is a very afterthoughty strategy. Like I'll put it in the PS and I'll just say, would love to help you book a call. And even, could you hear how my voice like gets really quiet and gets really rushed and hurried, and we move on to the next thing? Because that's how this reads to somebody on the email list when you do it this way. This is not a compelling offer to get on a call with you. It is an afterthought. Like the only way I can actually say this is it's an afterthought. And so this could be in an actual email. This could be on your website where you are wowing people with your expertise, and the copy is really good about the kind of client that you work with and how you can help them. And then there's really no next step that is obvious. There might be a button buried at the very bottom of a page, or there might be a link somewhere, but it isn't obvious and it isn't repeated. And from the prospective client's point of view, it's really not obvious. They don't know what to do next. And even more importantly, they don't know why it would benefit them to do that next thing. Okay. So I guess the way I want to say this is if this is you, if you don't have enough people booking a call, is it possible that you just don't have enough eyeballs on your offer to book a call? Yes, that is possible. However, if you have more than 5, 10, 15 people that would be ideal clients of yours that are seeing anything that you're putting out there, whether that's in person or online, and they would be ideal clients, but they're not taking the next step to book a call with you, then we have a messaging problem. So is it possible that there aren't 10 or 15 people that are even seeing your offer to book a call? Yes. If that's the case, let's work on that first. But let's not get too preoccupied with the number of people that are on your list or you're even presenting to. If it's 15-ish or more, there's enough. then we need to figure out, why aren't they booking the call? Why aren't they following this trail of breadcrumbs like Hansel and Gretel that you're dropping out along the path to get to the point where they book a call with you? Well, the reason is because those breadcrumbs are spread too far out. They got lost. They don't see the breadcrumbs. You think that it's a very clear trail to follow. This is a weird metaphor, but they don't see that. Okay. I see this all the time. I really, really I see that people assuming that their people know what to do next, and that if they wanted to come on the journey, they would just follow the breadcrumbs. And the reality is that you didn't leave enough breadcrumbs. You didn't drop them often enough. They weren't big enough pieces. Like, they didn't know. They didn't see it. They walked right over the breadcrumbs. They have no idea what's happening. So that is the problem that we are going to solve here. And this is the problem that I solved recently with my clients. So I told you about this. So if you are new here, you may not know what I mean when I say I work with clients. I work with clients in a program called the Profitable Nutritionist. And this is where we show you and teach you a step-by-step process for how to clean up your marketing, for how to get calls actually booked, for how to actually sell to clients and serve them at a deep level so you have a very profitable health and wellness practice. So back to my client I told you about earlier, who I was helping with getting more calls booked. And so when she asked me this question, she said, a lot of people are going to my website. I'm talking about my website. Nobody's actually booking a call there. Should I start running ads? This was her question. Should I start running ads? Obviously, coming from the thought, I need to get more people there. There aren't enough people seeing it. But there were some people seeing it and they weren't booking the call. So I said, no. Let me see what's going on your website. Let's dive into it. So I go to her website. It was very evident to me right away what was happening. The book a call to action was kind of diluted in several different calls to action, which I see a lot. She also wasn't making a compelling case for why the call was the next best step. She wasn't selling me on why I should book the call. So that's another problem. But also, it wasn't obvious even when I got to the page on where, like, what button to push to even book the call. So there were several things going on here. And as soon as I was looking at that, I was like, I have to do some content around this because I do see this happen quite a bit. Okay. So to wrap that up, the trail of breadcrumbs has to be very clear, has to be very spaced, very close together so people don't get off track and they don't lose the breadcrumb trail, which means a lot of repetition on what the next thing is that they should do. So every time somebody hears from you, they should be hearing about why they should book a call with you, why that is going to be the most transformative thing that they could possibly do this week, this month, this year. And you need to sell them on that, even if it's not a paid call. And for most people that will ever watch this or hear this, it isn't a paid call, but we still need to sell it. And as I was preparing this outline and like, oh, what do I want to talk about here? I had to laugh to myself because I realized, note to self, I don't really sell my calls that well either. So maybe I'll do a better job of that in a second. But I think this is something we always need to revisit. Am I selling the next step? Am I selling people on what the next thing is they need to do and why that's a valuable use of their time? Again, because even if it's free, it's not free because people's time is not free. And so we need to know that we're going to be getting value. Okay, so that's going to bring me into the next thing I wanted to talk about, which is the biggest mistakes. Now, I've already said this, but I'm going to restate it again because repetition is important and irony is fun. Okay, repetition is important. People think, well, it's free, so they should just do it. Like, I have it on my website to book a call with me. If people don't do that, it's because they don't really want the help. It's because they don't have the money to invest. It's because they saw my how much it's going to cost to work with me and they've already decided they can't afford it, so they're not booking the call. None of that needs to be true. What if it's just the fact that they don't know what the heck you're going to be doing on the call? Because they can't read your mind and they don't know what we do on a discovery call or a consult call. Again, I use those two interchangeably, but a lot of my clients call it a discovery call. So on a discovery call with you, what is the outcome from the call? Now, if you think that the outcome from the call is that they're going to pay you a lot of money, and that's the only thing that is happening here is you're getting a benefit, you're not going to sell it. Do you know how I know that? Because you're a human and that feels terrible. There has to be an equal value exchange for you to feel good about having somebody do the thing and for you to feel really good about saying, this is the next step for you. It's going to be ultra transformative. Let's go. You're not going to do that if you feel like this is one-sided. I'm the only person that's going to be winning here. You're going to pay me. that's going to cause you to shrink. Okay. That's going to cause you to second guess. Oh, should I really tell them to do that? Like, should I just bury it in the PS of the email line as kind of an afterthought? Should I just kind of bury it on my website amidst all of these other buttons that tell them to go get a lead magnet and give them other resources and have them go read my blog? And then, like, maybe somebody finds this random link to book a call, but it's hidden and it's hard and the breadcrumbs aren't obvious. You'll do that if you don't believe that there is something in it for them on this call. So that's what we first need to realize. There is a big result that they are getting from getting on a free call with you. There is. You need to know what that is, and then you need to tell them in 100 different ways what that is. That's what I mean by selling the call, because it isn't enough that it's free. It's not like, oh, well, this is free, I might as well just do it. No, people value their time. Your ideal client, the person that you really want to work with, they don't just do things for free. Okay. They actually are intentional and they want to know what's going to happen on this call that's going to be so transformative for them. So I need you and you need you and your future clients need you to take some time and really detail out what is the transformation that takes place on this call for them. How are they going to save money? How are they going to save time? And how are they going to save energy? That's what people want to do. They want to save money, save time, save energy. You are providing a vehicle to do that because right now they are trying to solve their health problems by themselves, or they're spending a lot of money with other practitioners or other services that aren't getting them the results they want. They're spending a lot of effort trying to figure this out somehow, or money or time or all of the above. And you are going to show them a path that is much simpler, much more convenient, and is going to save them in one or all of those areas. But you need to figure out, how is that true? And how are you going to provide that in this discovery call? Because remember, it is not just for you to see, are they going to pay me? That's what we're doing on this call. No, you are connecting dots for them. You are providing value to them. You are giving them a roadmap that they don't have already. You're showing them, this is what I see from your situation, so-and-so, that everything that you just told me, I can see very clearly that the next 3 priorities that you need to work on in this order is this, this, and this. When we work together, here's how I would do that with you. And then you bridge into showing them what that would look like when you work together. But what are they getting? They're getting a plan. They're getting clarity. They're getting an understanding of why they're at the place that they're at now and how it could be actually a lot simpler to get to the result they want than what they initially thought. That's what you're providing on a call. Now, it could be a million different ways that you do that. Your call format could be, again, many different ways that you show them that, but you are providing a value on this call. They are going to walk away from this call, whether they buy anything from you or not, with an understanding, a clarity, a plan, and value in some regard based on what you are going to bring them through on that call. But you first have to figure out what that is. And then the beauty is, when you do that and you get really clear on what that is, you will go sell the dang call. You will sell it to them. You'll be like, listen, I love this conversation we're having so far. I would actually really like to do a full discovery call with you where I will take you through the process of finding out a lot more about your situation and what you've tried and what hasn't worked before, so I could show you what this could look like in the future for you. So I could give you a plan for blah, blah, blah. Like, fill in the blank of whatever it is for you. But the point is, somebody gets on a call with you because they're getting very personalized information to them that they can't get in your emails, that they can't just get on your website, that they can't get in a workshop that you're hosting for 20 people. The reason they get on a call with you is because it is all about them, and you are giving them a personalized, whatever it is, plan, roadmap, synthesis of what you see. I don't know. You decide what that is, but there's a reason that they get on the call with you, and it's because you are going to give them something that they can't get somewhere else. But they don't know that until you really spell that out and show them, this is what we do on a call together. So that's what needs to happen. On your website, on every conversation where you talk about what the next step is, you have to say, this is the next step. Book a call. We're going to do a call together, and here's why it's going to be beneficial to you. Okay. So this is a format that I teach to my clients, and I think it's really useful here. So I will land this plane on this point by giving you a what to say. You always want to use the phrase, so you can. Okay. So what this looks like is you saying, we're going to get on a call together so you can, and then you're going to list the benefits that they get from getting on the call with you. What people typically do, if they've never thought about it in this way and they've never thought the benefits of what they're offering before, is they give the features. Get on a call, so we're going to spend an hour together, so I'm going to find out all about you, so I'm going to sell you. Like, no, of course, that's not going to be compelling for anybody. So you can answer a 300 question nutrition assessment questionnaire. Like, no, 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 none of these things. I've seen people do all of it. So that's why I am bringing all this up. No, those are features of what the call, like what might be happening on the call, but it's not the reason that somebody's going to book a call with you. They are going to book a call with you because of the benefits that they get and the results that they get. So you need to make that really clear. So it's like, you're going to do this next thing, X, so you can Y. And whatever Y is the benefits that they really want. Okay. So do this, do X, so you can Y. That's the actual equation here if we're using equations. All right, now I'm going to do a little callback reminder to something I said earlier, but I glossed over it. So we need to be very, very, very clear on this. You have to repeat calls to action. Call to action here is booking a call with you, which means you need to tell people over and over and over again. Remember dropping the breadcrumbs really, really, really close together and a lot of breadcrumbs. You need to tell them over and over and over again, do this, here's why. Do this, here's why. Do this so you can why. But you need to do it a lot, over and over and over again. And you need to do it, I mean, I don't want to give a number here. You need to do it many more times than feels comfortable because your brain will say, they've already heard this. If they were going to book a call, they already would have. None of that is true. They didn't hear it. They didn't remember. And our lives change, our mindsets change, our circumstances change. You have no idea what has changed between yesterday and today for the person that is hearing you say the exact same thing and it lands differently. But today is the day and you don't know when today is. So you just got to keep showing up and saying the same thing over and over and over again. And that is seriously the secret to success, but I know it's uncomfortable. And this is something I coach my clients on a lot. Like the amount of repetition that is needed is uncomfortable to most of us who don't want to bug people, right? That's the reason why we feel like this, I don't want to be too salesy. I don't want to be spammy. I don't want to overstep. These are all things that we think. And in reality, people just aren't paying that close of attention. They're not opening every single email from you. They don't remember everything that you said to them in last week when you had a conversation. They just don't. So repeat. Again, I want to land this plane by saying just a few things that I think are really going to help you with getting more call bookings if you've never thought of it this way before. First of all, it's not that enough people aren't seeing your call to action. That's not it. Don't default to that. I know that that's the easiest place for our brains to go to. Like, I just need to get more people. I need to run ads. I need to do this new thing. I need to be on a new social media platform. I need the new. It's not it. Okay, it's not it. If the people that are already interested in what you have to offer, you're already having conversations with, are not booking calls with you, they're not taking the next step, it's because they aren't clear on why that next step would benefit them, or you're just not really making it. You're not really making the offer. So what a lot of people do is they just start selling their paid offer. And there's a time and place for that, but there is definitely a bridge to the paid offer, which is that free call with you, especially if you aren't fully booked right now, if you don't have a wait list. You want to have one-on-one conversations with people. You want to have as many of those conversations as you can because you're going to get so much better at articulating the value of what you offer and overcoming people's objections and understanding where their mind is at and what problems they think they have that actually are very different than the problems that you know they have and how to explain those two things. You got to have a lot of conversations. You got to roll up your sleeves. You got to get in there and just talk to as many people as you can, which isn't going to happen if they don't think it's a good use of their time to get on a call with you, whether that's on Zoom or on an actual phone call. It doesn't matter. Or in person. People do all variations of this. Don't let the nuances of like how you're talking to people, don't let that slow you down. There isn't a right or wrong way. Just have conversations with people. Okay, that's your discovery call, your consult call. You call it whatever you want to. Strategy session, clarity call. On that note though, because my clients ask me about this a lot too, this comes up of what should I call it? Call it what it is. Okay. If it is a sales call it a sales call. If it is a discovery call where you're going to discover something with them, call it that. But make it clear. What you don't want to do is kind of like sell this being a free session with you to just pick your brain. And then on that session, you're going to sell them and there was a disconnect and that's not what they were expecting. Don't do that. They're not going to buy. They're going to feel icky about it. You're going to feel icky about it, and nobody's going to get results. So be clear on what this call is going to be used for. If it makes you feel uncomfortable for people to know that they're going to make a purchasing decision, then we got to work on that. Your mindset around that is really something that needs to change because it is a service for you to be selling to your people. Well, that's like a different podcast episode, different YouTube video that I have made many times, but I'll just say, Selling is serving. So if you are nervous about selling, we have to fix that first and foremost. But assuming that you're not nervous about selling, let's just make sure that they know that they're going to get sold to. If that is the case, let's make that very transparent and let's make sure that they know why that is a beautiful, beautiful thing, because it is. Them getting on a call with you and getting personalized information and a next steps and a plan and a blah, 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 whatever it is that you're going to decide that you are offering on this call, that is so valuable to them. Of course, the right people are going to want to go the next step further and continue working with you. Okay. But you don't need to sell that upfront. You don't need to talk about that upfront. You don't need to, it's certainly not something you're going to hide, but you don't need to lead with what it looks like to work with you. You just need to sell the next step. So I guess that's the point of all of this. Sell the next step. Don't assume that people know what a discovery call is or what that is going to entail or why they should do that. People don't know. And they're wondering, oh, I don't know. I mean, should I have done a bunch of homework stuff first before I book a call? Can I book a call if I'm not at X stage yet? Am I like, do I really need the help? Am I going to be wasting their time? Is it going to be a waste of my time? These are all things people want to know. So it's your job to educate them on all of those things. Here's who a call is for. Here's when you should book it. Here's what we're going to do. Here's the value you're going to receive. Here's why it's going to change your life. Do it. You get clear on those things and it will be very easy for you to sell it. Now, I'll also tech-wise and just like tactically make sure that all of those things are really obvious on your call booking page. So for most people, you will have some sort of electronic way for people to book a call with you. Then that's maybe not the case for everybody. So maybe somebody's just texting you. Maybe you're emailing back and forth and you're figuring it out manually, and that's fine in the beginning. But eventually, you will have a landing page where people are going to choose their calendar slot and they're going to book it with you, and it's all going to be automated. And on that page, you need to remind them yet again what you're going to be doing on the call, how long is it, and what big transformation they can expect. Like every step of the way, you need to make sure that you're reiterating these points. This is what I meant in the beginning when I said repetition, repetition, repetition. It feels weird. It's like, I've already said this. If they've gotten this far, they already know. No, they don't. They already forgot. They don't know. You're going to need to send follow-up emails that remind them again, this is why this is going to be so transformative. This is what we're going to do together. This is why it's going to be so personalized. This is why I can't wait to dig into your situation. This is the result you're going to get. Always reminding, 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 because the next problem that happens after people consistently start booking calls with you is you might have a disconnect between people booking the call and showing up for the call. Once again, because they forgot why it was important, something else came up, the communication isn't as good as you think it is. And so these are all problems that we can fix by being very consistent every step of the way and making sure that the breadcrumbs are really close together. Really, really, really close together. And there's lots of repetition. So my friend, if you aren't booking enough discovery calls right now, don't think that it isn't that you don't have enough people. It's not that your audience needs to be bigger. It's not that you need to run ads. First, we need to figure out why they aren't booking the call, which is probably that you're not being clear enough about why it's going to be so transformative for them. We're going to fix that problem first. And then the fun problem that we're going to solve after that. None of these are problems, by the way, actually. But the next thing that we work on is getting more eyeballs on your book a call offer or on the whatever call to action it is. This isn't only exclusive for booking a discovery call or people getting on a call with you, although that is commonly what most people that I work with are doing. So that's why I am calling this book a discovery call. However, if you would do everything digitally, you don't do discovery calls, and maybe you have a lead magnet you need to get people to, this would also apply for that. I think for 99% of people that are going to hear this, though, it's book a call, book a call, book a call. So let's just make it easier for people to say yes to doing that, and then we can solve the traffic problem afterwards. Now, remember, I told you that I don't think I have done a great job, especially recently, of selling my discovery calls. So I am going to do a pitch for that right now and do a better job of it. If you are already working on growing your holistic wellness business, but you want more consistent sales, you want more clients, and you don't want to be relying on social media to do either of those things, then we need to talk, my friend. Here's what happens when you book a sales call with me. I am going to review your current situation, including your website if you have one, because you're going to submit that prior to booking the call. And I am going to show you on our time together one or two things that will actually move the needle in your business. So we are going to have a really candid conversation about what you have been doing, what your goals are, and I'm going to show you what things you can just quit doing right now because they're not working and what things to actually focus in on. People leave these calls saying, oh my goodness, I feel so much better because I actually have a structure now and I know what to do next. Of course, in this call, if I think that we can really help you in the Profitable Nutritionist program to do it faster and do it better, I will make an offer to you to join the program and I will explain how that works on the call. So if that's compelling to you and you do want to have a structure to follow and you do want to know what things you're wasting your time on right now that you can eliminate so you can go faster to get to your goals, let's chat. Go to theprofitablenutritionist.com/book to book your call. Again, that's theprofitablenutritionist.com/book. And that's also linked up in the description. By the way, it doesn't matter what stage of business that you are at to book a call. So sometimes people wonder, oh my gosh, should I do a call if I'm just starting? Do I have to be more established? The criteria for booking a call and for really getting the most out of the structure that I will offer to you and what we do on the call is that you are an action taker and that you are in there and you are having conversations with real humans, or you're about to real quick, to grow your business. If you are not taking action, if you're still wondering, do I even want to have a business? Is this something I even want to do? Then the call is not going to be fruitful for either of us. But if you are already taking action and you are all in on building a health and wellness business for yourself, then absolutely let's talk. Again, go to theprofitablenutritionist.com/book. Now that you are more clear on how to better market your discovery calls, you need to make your entire business foundation more solid and set up for success and better sales. Because you got those calls coming in. Now, what do you do? Well, my friend, I have the answer to that. In fact, I have 3 answers for you. And I want you to watch this video next, where I am going to break down the 3 things that I would do differently if starting my holistic nutrition business from scratch right now. These are going to save you a lot of time and a lot of wasted money. So again, these are the 3 things that I would do differently if starting my nutrition business from scratch. Go watch that next to save yourself some headaches.